What's up, YouTube? This is Vicente Gonzalez back with the Stardom 7. It's week 10. Let's go. At quarterback, I say start Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, Josh McCown, and Tyrod Taylor, and sit Phillip Rivers, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Kirk Cousins, Blake Bortles, and Andy Dalton. Dak Prescott's going to have a good week this week. He's usually pretty solid, and this week he's going to throw more again because Zeke is actually suspended now. So expect him to do well. Jared Goff is running that offense amazingly, kind of like 1999 when that offense was booming. So I expect him to be a reliable starter from now on. And Matthew Stafford, he's going against Cleveland's bad defense. I think that's going to be fun for him to throw on. I say sit Phillip Rivers because he's going against Jacksonville and their great defense. Ryan Fitzpatrick, the New York Jets have a pretty solid defense, and although Ryan Fitzpatrick throws a lot, he makes a lot of mistakes. I'm not going to play with that. And Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins has almost nobody to throw to. I think Jordan Reed might start this week, but I still don't trust him against Minnesota's pretty good defense. At running back, I say start Carlos Hyde, Alvin Kamara, Jordan Howard, Christian McCaffrey, and Jerick McKinnon, and sit C.J. Anderson, Doug Martin, Frank Gore, Rob Kelly, and Joe Mixon. Carlos Hyde has turned into a workhorse for San Francisco, and they're going against New York Giants who can't do much. So if they get ahead, then Carlos Hyde's going to be running all day. I think it's a good situation for him. Alvin Kamara has turned into a PPR monster, and I think they're going to use him a lot against Buffalo. And Jordan Howard is kind of the same situation as Carlos Hyde. He's their workhorse, and if they get ahead, especially against Brett Hundley, he's not very good. They're going to be running Jordan Howard a lot, even regardless. So I say start Jordan Howard. C.J. Anderson, sit him because he's in a terrible situation. He's like their best player, and when he does good, the team does good. But because Brock Osweiler's there, C.J. Anderson just doesn't have that many opportunities. He's going to get thrown on, and then they're going to get behind, and C.J. won't have a chance to run. So don't start him. And Doug Martin, he kind of disappeared, and he's going against a good defense, so even if he did go out there, there's not a good chance he'd do well, so don't start him. And Joe Mixon, he's like their number one running back, but they don't use him very well. And Andy Dalton's not very good. I don't like that situation. Wide receivers, I say start DeAndre Hopkins, Golden Tate, Robbie Anderson, Adam Thielen, and Jarvis Landry, and sit Keenan Allen, Jordy Nelson, Will Fuller, Emmanuel Sanders, and Kelvin Benjamin. DeAndre Hopkins is still going to be pretty good, even with Tom Savage at the helm, so he's a safe start no matter what. Golden Tate, Matthew Stafford seems to just throw it no matter what the score is, so I think Golden Tate's going to see plenty of the opportunities. And Robbie Anderson has turned into Josh McCown's number one target. Josh McCown that's his favorite guy. I think he's going to throw him to a lot, especially against Tampa Bay. If Myers Fitzpatrick blows up, then they're going to throw a lot. So Robbie Anderson, safe. Sit Keenan Allen because it's Phillip Rivers against Jacksonville. He's going to get a lot of pressure, might not throw it as much, so I don't like that play. And Jordy Nelson is just not the same Jordy anymore without Aaron Rodgers. Brett Hundley doesn't use him very well. Devontae Adams is actually a little safer than Jordy, so no go for Jordy. And Emmanuel Sanders is suffering an injury. He's probably still not 100%. Plus, Brock Osweiler's throwing. There's just not a lot of opportunities. Tight ends, start Evan Ingram, Kyle Rudolph, Delaney Walker, Jordan Reed, or Vernon Davis, whichever plays, and Jack Doyle, and sit Julius Thomas, Eric Ebron, Hunter Henry, Charles Clay, if he's healthy, and Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Now, Evan Ingram has turned into a really good rookie tight end. Like, I don't normally like rookie tight ends, but he's pretty reliable, especially in an offense where he's like the number 2 receiver. So I like him. Delaney Walker, even if he's hurt, does pretty well. That's Marcus Mariota's favorite target. Keep him going. And now to clarify this situation, I've read that Jordan Reed had a limited practice and is looking to start. If that happens, then Vernon Davis is not a start. But if Jordan Reed's not healthy, then start Vernon Davis because Kirk Cousins likes his tight ends. Sit Hunter Henry because it's Jacksonville and Hunter Henry's not very consistent anyway. Sit Eric Ebron, even though it's a great matchup. Eric Ebron's just not the guy this year. He's not. He may show up for some plays, but then he has as many drops as he does catches. It's terrible. So, and then Julius Thomas, he had the best game of the year last week. He did really well, but don't expect a repeat. That's one of those outliers. It's just not a good thing. Defenses, start Carolina Panthers, Detroit Lions, the LA Rams, Jacksonville Jaguars, and New England Patriots, and sit the Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts, Buffalo Bills, San Francisco 49ers, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Carolina is going against Jay Cutler, Miami. That's always a fun play. Detroit Lions is going against DeShone Kizer in Cleveland. That's a good matchup. And the Jaguars are a must-start all the time. And with LA playing Houston with Tom Savage, it's a great play. Sit the Houston Texans versus the LA Rams because the LA Rams are one of the top offenses in the NFL. Jared Goff is running them really well. Sit the Indianapolis Colts because Pittsburgh is actually coming on really nicely with Juju Smith-Schuster and Antonio Brown. Le'Veon Bell, that's weapons for days. And sit the San Francisco 49ers because Eli can still throw. He makes a lot of mistakes, but at the same time, last week with limited weapons, he put up a pretty good fight at some point. So I don't like that play. And sit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because the Jets' offense is pretty steady. They have plenty of options, plenty of Robbie Anderson, Jermaine Kearse, Matt Forte, and Bilal Powell. It's just there's plenty of place for the ball to go, and it's too much to cover. So in conclusion, minutes before filming this, Ezekiel Elliott has been suspended by the NFL. He is set to serve a 6-game suspension starting now. He may come back a little earlier than that 6 if he gets the appeal goes well, but just smarter that situation. But for now, Alfred Morris owners, time to go. Start him. Also, last video, we had released it, I think, on Wednesday, and Deshaun Watson tore his ACL on Thursday. It was a very sad situation. He was good for the NFL. He was a great player, and it's sad to see him go. Tom Savage is not a suitable replacement. Don't play with that. And also, it's playoff time. It's a lot of trade deadlines. Like in my league, it's the trade deadline next week. So make sure to make some last-minute trades if you need to. Get what you need, and hopefully your playoff push is a successful one. Anyways, please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.